They don't hear nothing. Can you hear me?
Are you for real with me right now?
Okay, do it now.
Go
ahead, do it now. Do it again. Just go ahead. Good morning, happy Tuesday. I hope you can hear what we said. It was muted here. There's the two. Screen. You know how you got your things over there? I have my things over here.
Like I was saying, you didn't switch.
Right, but there's a lot more buttons on this side of the table than on that side of the table.
Oh, heck no. We will not do that. Because, see, what had happened was he was trying to make it seem like.
I'm still trying to make it seem like I'm right. And no one else is right when I'm right.
But what had happened was I was right.
She is right. She's usually right.
He got me all in my burm stage, and there was no us. Guess what, though? There's us. We're on.
I can't function without my cake, Nika. You drink coffee. I eat cake.
Cake. Okay.
Exactly. Is it the euphemism or is it actual cake?
It's the bam.
We'll never know. It's either way.
Why is going not bothered anymore? What's going on with that?
Hey, everybody, how you doing? Happy Tuesday. It is beautiful, brisk, 1,000 degrees outside.
No, it's a cool front today. There's a cool front today.
Oh, it'll only be 97.
There you go. And that's cooler in front of you.
That is cooler. You know what I will say, though? I want to pray right now for cooler weather, moister weather, and rain even for the western half of this country. Because all those wildfires are going
crazy.
Like, you remember how last week we were saying half the country's on fire?
Yeah.
At this point, I think we're only 2 states. I saw it this morning. I think we're only 2. What are you pushing?
Just would you
continue
keep talking?
Pushing?
Keep talking.
Stop pushing the button.
Keep talking.
At this point, it seems as though we're only 2 states away from that literally being true. A fire in every state. Like
going on
west of the Mississippi. Not west of the Mississippi. Let me not say that because the Mississippi's a little further. But Texas and everybody west of Texas and up on fire.
It's crazy, man.
It's bananas. There have been tens and tens of thousands of people that have been displaced and evacuated from their homes. And oh, my gosh. So big shout to all of the first responders, all of the firemen out there. A lot of them are weary right now trying to battle this blaze. Unfortunately, the western part of this country is looking at triple digits for the next at least week every day, which means it also gets drier, which means the fire gets to spread more, and no rain in sight for at least a week. Like as far as they can see out, as far as they can see out, no rain in sight. So, man, God bless you guys, and I know that you guys are fighting a good fight. So
yeah, most definitely, man. I fire scares me. Like, fire is when you watch the stuff like on firefighters and what they learn and what they have to go through and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's scary. Fire is it's a beast, you know. And when it moves. It has its own conversation, shall I say? So, like, they have to really know how to maneuver and work in that situation.
I learned this morning that it was fascinating too, but terrifying and fascinating at the same time. I learned this morning that fires like this usually create their own weather systems. It has nothing to do with it's less to do with what the earth is doing and more to do with what the fire is doing.
Right.
So imagine this. You have hot air, right? Because it's hot outside. And hot air rises up from the ground, right? Then when you add fire to it, that hot air not only rises up from the ground, but it gets pushed even faster up from the ground because there's fire. The air gets shot into the air from the heat of the fire. When the air gets shot into the sky, new air has to fill the void, right? So you have this constant kind of whooshing up and new air rushing in. All right, I'm getting Hold on. Quality control is calling. Turn it up is what they're saying. So let's turn it up a little bit over here.
So
hello.
Wifey.
Anyway,
that's what I
control.
was doing when he was asking about my buttons. Tell him.
Can I just tell you right now that a button doesn't turn anything up? You got to turn the knob. There's knobs and buttons.
But
Nika.
if he was listening
As
to
a
the
man, I
radio,
know knobs and buttons.
if he was listening to the radio, you'd have been like, turn something.
Turn something, push something, make something happen.
Dude.
Because I got mine on 11 and I can't
And
hear
I
you
can't
guys.
hear you guys. I just turned on the radio and I was like,
I'm hoping that's better. Quality control hit me up if that's
Yeah.
better. Anyway, so it creates its own weather system. The hot air gets pushed like really hard and fast into the sky. New air comes in to replace it, and it basically creates these little tornadoes.
pockets.
Right? And these little tornadoes that are not coming from the clouds above, and things are just whooshing around all at the same time. You're trying to fight this. Now, the problem with, the additional problem with that is that those winds, those little tornadoes, take some of those embers from the fire and spread them out, and then throw them other places where there's no fire,
Right.
and starts a fire. So that's why these guys are having such a hard time controlling it, because the weather system.
And there's not enough water. Like even sometimes, I mean, this happens every year, like literally every year. But like even when it rains, it's not enough to stop the fire.
Right.
You know, they need that constant water. Like, so if there was firefighters out there, they would literally be like, okay, round shift 2. You know what I'm saying? Because they got to dampen so much of that, of the area and the area around it. Scary. That's why I said fires, they're scary. Water, too much, anything a lot of.
right. Too much of anything.
Too
is
much
not
of
great.
anything is scary. It's
not
just gonna
great.
put you in a crazy position.
I also learned. See, this is my National Geographic morning. I also learned that fire moves faster uphill. I did not know
like
that.
it runs, right?
Like, yeah,
like
but
it's like almost running.
But the steeper the hill, the faster
it
moves.
goes because of the air.
I'm like,
The air
what?
gets thinner. The air gets
the steeper the hill, the slow,
oxygen,
the more likely I am to lay down. Like, you know what? I ain't no
Well, if
elevator, no nothing. Okay, I'm just gonna be right here.
Well, look at this. This is what you need to know. If it's running up one side of the hill, you need to be rolling down the other.
Equally as fast.
Exactly.
With wheels on your back.
Exactly.
Just roll.
Well, I think
Anyway.
we need to start off the morning with the feel-good story.
That wasn't it.
The feel-good situation. Well, no, not that the whole world is on fire. That wasn't. But it was a good National Geographic situation.
Well, thank you. I'm trying
and
to
that is
elevate,
cool.
Elevate the conversation.
I mean, you know. Look.
Yeah. Today is National. This might be happy. Hold on.
I was gonna.
Well, yesterday was National Cheesecake Day. I messed it up and I pushed it
Yeah.
wrong, but okay.
Yeah.
National Mutt Day.
Aw. Two different type of dogs who
little
have
doggies.
love. Who have love and they
See,
make
when a
mutts.
mommy dog and a daddy dog get together and they love each other very much,
and they get stuck.
get stuck in a position, and also they are not of the same breed.
Right.
Okay? They're
Right.
down with the swirl. Okay? Bouquet. They are down with the swirl.
Do you
They
think dogs
make
not like
a
it
mutt.
when you go outside of your breed? Oh my God. He's dating a poodle. Like, what is going on?
You know what? You know what? If you look at the way like Disney and cartoons when we were kids portrays it and stuff, different breeds of dog are really just nationalities in a sense, right? So the poodle is
yes,
French,
they
and then you got
made-
the you know, different, like the Rottweiler's German.
Are we pit bulls? Are black people pit bulls?
But you're looking at race. I'm talking nationality.
Oh, that's right.
American might be the bulldog. Might be American,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then the poodle is going to be French.
Yeah.
Fa, 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 wee,
Yeah.
wee, wee,
Fa, fa,
si,
fa,
si,
wee,
si.
wee. Yeah.
And then
Si, si,
si, si, si. Or actually wee, wee, wee. Si, si,
Yeah.
si is mine. Don't use
Right.
that.
And then I was about to say who's
Rottweiler's a German.
who's the Mexican dog or the Spanish
Chihuahuas.
dog? The Chihuahua. Duh. Yeah.
You know.
Well, no.
So
the white people's dog is and I'm going race because I gotta
race.
No, but
Can't
I gotta
go race.
remember. I gotta
Can't
remember
go
the
race.
dog.
Okay.
The
Go
dog
ahead.
that was on the freaking skateboard.
The golden retrievers, Air Bud.
What was his name?
Air Bud.
It was not Air Bud.
I don't know. But, Lassie.
Bud Lewinsky.
Lassie.
No. Lassie is so the white people dog. You're right.
American.
That's the American dog. But the white people dog.
American got a bunch of dogs, right?
A whole
American.
bunch.
Oh, wait. Are bulldogs British?
I think because bulldog's not American. I don't think
because there's an American. Okay, so American bulldog.
There might be an American bulldog, but I would say if I'm thinking about dogs and
British.
I'm going, yes, I would go.
So
and Lassie would definitely be apple pie-ish.
American. You could have a Lassie.
Could you please tell me what the freaking dog was that was on the skateboard that had the freaking black eye? Come on, that was on all the
Spot?
Spud Lewinsky?
Oh, Spud McKenzie.
McKenzie.
Spud McKenzie.
Thanks.
What kind of dog was Spud McKenzie? I don't remember the name of the breed. I'm allergic to dogs, so I can't. I never had some. I've never been shopping for one.
I just know that Spud McKenzie was the name.
There's been a lot of Spud McKenzie, Lassie, Benji. Remember Benji? Benji the dog made a bunch of movies in like the 80s and 70s and 60s.
Now we're getting out of my...
Wow.
I mean, of course I remember Benji.
Okay, well, we're not getting out of your nothing then. Remember.
But...
Benji. And Benji was a cute little, almost Shih Tzu-like creature.
I love Shih Tzus.
See? And that's the Japanese... No, that's the Chinese.
That's a Chinese dog.
I think Chinese dogs, Shih Tzus are Chinese. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just like saying it.
See, so there? Yeah, I know. Okay. FCC, we're sorry. She likes saying it.
It's like saying Shih Tzu.
Anyway, National Mud Day is today. So if you have any of those that are pure breed, it's not your day. It's only for the swirl.
It's only for the swirls.
So, and also is national. This is going to be big here. It's going to be big here because where we are, today is National Avocado Day.
Oh, I was going to say, tamales, taquitos, burritos,
right,
tacos.
I just said avocado. Like we ain't.
Flour tortillas.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all.
But, okay, avocados, yeah.
Ninette says Eskimo dog is one of the only truly American dogs.
The Eskimo dog, I mean, yeah, I guess. I would call it, sure.
That's bad that we'll look at an Eskimo and think that they're not American.
Yeah, I'm trying to
That's bad because they were here first.
Honey, there was a whole bunch of people here first. But actually, we was one of those. We was one of those here first. People
and
too.
Look at it's also National Raspberry Cake Day. Raspberry cake. Raspberry cake. Raspberry cake. Raspberry cake. I need that.
So I really
Nene,
go
give me some raspberry cake before I come home, please.
No, I really thought something like exciting was happening because he jumped. Oh my God, oh my God. It's raspberry cake day.
Raspberry
now, do you
cake.
like the raspberry on the cake or just the cake part and then it's just raspberry on it?
Okay.
That's what I thought. It could be a vanilla cake day, bean cake day, as long as cake was in.
There was some cake in there,
in the title.
And I'm ready to go.
Speaking of cake, guys, we are celebrating our birthday tomorrow. How you doing?
Yes.
So not only do you pay your rent tomorrow, but you go and buy or get a gift or come give us some loving and some hugs. Because some people said, do we buy a gift on your business birthday? Of course you do. You buy gifts on all birthdays, just like you eat cake on all birthdays.
And she still hasn't told me whether or not there will be cake here tomorrow.
I'm not buying the cake. Somebody else is gonna have to buy this cake.
Look,
right?
If
who
don't ask for much.
One cake?
One cake on the birthday. It's my birthday too. Shoot,
it is.
I only been here two
months and you're already getting cake.
Getting cake.
Well, look,
I deserve cake.
Look, tomorrow we celebrate all day, right?
That's why I try to be a good person in life, right? You be a good person in life, and there's never a situation where you can't say the words, I deserve cake.
Ninette says no cake for you.
She don't know. You don't know my life. She knows my life. She can control me in so many ways. I hate you.
What's up, wifey? How you doing?
So much control, such a small package. I love you, girl. Okay, so let's talk about stuff you want to talk about today.
Well, I do want to talk about, at least start talking about LeBron James. Because, people are so...
Can't do that loud enough. Gotta try to suck really loud. It's hard.
What I'm saying is, many people have things to say about LeBron.
Yeah.
And of course, it's always a basketball conversation. Maybe it's Kobe versus LeBron, Jordan versus LeBron. Who's better? What's this? Is he a crybaby? Is he not? He moved. Well, he stayed at the same team. He then went to LA. There's all kinds of things that you could just say about LeBron. But he made a move that basically says, if you're going to talk about this cat now, then it almost reveals you, right? So what am I talking about? The school that he's building for the kiddo. Excuse me. Yes, built for the kiddos, and that's open and there to educate and be fabulous. You know,
Akron, Ohio. Yeah, he built a school.
Built a school.
You can really talk about. I think that holds true with most sports fans, right? The criticism is about the athleticism, not the altruism, right? So personally, nobody's really hitting this dude like, oh, you suck as a human being. It's really like,
look at me. I don't know that, babe.
But I think most of it is really just about like, why are you leaving? You know, your sports decisions, not necessarily your like, oh, you built a school.
Well, I
whatever.
Think us
nobody's doing that, right?
Americans.
Oh boy.
See, I didn't put color in it. I took the color out.
Us as
Americans,
the Americans, and
definitely,
such and the such and such of the Americans of the such.
What's today called? Mixing it.
No, it's National Mutt Day. It's
right.
Dogs.
So what happens?
We off dogs.
What happens when what they do? I think that they cannot separate. Like work from,
I see.
You know what I'm saying? This is why we have a problem with all the people that we talk about in the news. Cosby, this person, that person, that person. Anybody who might have done great things for folks, but then is a horrible freaking human being, or vice versa, right? Or has done bad things. We've all done bad things, but there's levels of those bad things. So yeah, we're constantly judging stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't think people take, like even consider someone being a good guy or whatever. Like when you don't like somebody, you don't like them. Like period.
Okay.
And yeah. So this is one of those situations where I'm like, yeah, somebody out there is being stupid because they probably haven't read the story or they don't really know. So they're just judging it off of just not liking LeBron James. Okay. Well, I don't care what he did or what did he really do. You know, man, he's building a school. And again, a lot of times when we have conversations about making change and what we need to do for the community, and we look to those folks that we see making millions and millions of dollars, and we say, why can't y'all lead the movement? Why can't you, start another NFL team? Everybody that's got big money, played on it. Why you can't just start another one? Like that. These are conversations that we have, right? And at the end of the day, you got someone who has leadership, who has money, who has these things that made a school for some education other than
don't we also have to be a little careful about what the expectation, right? Because this guy can build a school, right? Mm-hmm. He can build a school. It's not necessarily going to be like the same size as Rydell High. Like it's not going to be this massive structure made of stone and whatever that looks like it was right? Big shout out to my Grease people. It's not going to be like that, right? It's not going to be like something that was built in the early 1900s, a big, It's still going to be a nice school, but you can build a building. And you can, give it to the city who has the infrastructure to then populate it and bring the kids in and do whatever, or maybe rebuild for a community. Mm-hmm. But when you're talking about things like a stadium, or you're talking about, then this, and when you're talking about things like starting a new team and doing things that are this massive, you pretty much nowadays have to be a billionaire to do those kind of things. You can't just be a millionaire.
No.
And you can be a millionaire and open a school. You can't be a millionaire and then try to get other millionaire friends, try to pay people millions of dollars to come and play on a sports team.
Right.
Or you can't be a millionaire and then try to build a $1 billion building. Just the building.
Right.
Structure.
Right.
Just like you can't really be a millionaire and say, I'm going to go to Vegas and open a casino. You can't do that
No,
because
lose your money.
just the building is $1 billion now in Vegas.
You can't be a millionaire and say, I'm going to start a radio station because your antenna's $1 million. So if all you got is 1 or 2 million,
there's a couple
then
million, you could lease it,
right.
but you better be on your game like right after with this money
some money
that's
coming in.
Right?
Exactly.
So so you have to you also have to like manage your expectations of what a millionaire can do. LeBron can open a school. The guy that's paying LeBron can start a team.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's a different thing. Because he's paying LeBron and 15 other
Oh,
guys.
and he's not alone either. He's not alone either. So that's one thing that
some of them are,
we talk
weird.
about. Yeah.
Some of them are.
Lots of money.
Come on. But yeah, for the most part,
it's like
there's
20
partnerships
of us
that started a team.
Exactly. It's partnerships. And that's one of the things that we always talk about with our community and say we have got to learn to work together. You ain't got to be best of friends to come together and make some stuff happen, because literally that's how you make it bigger. That's how you make it bigger.
Of this thing? I'm going to show everybody
awesome.
one picture from the lobby of this school. Look at this.
Awesome. Beautiful.
This is beautiful.
Beautiful.
Look at this thing. I mean, that's a nice, and there's beauty in its simplicity. Yeah, it's a staircase that spirals up or whatever. But when you really look at it, it's beauty in the simplicity, right? Except for this thing that hangs like a scoreboard. Of course, he had to add.
We're winning.
Yeah, we're winning. Exactly. We are winning. But yeah, so it's the.
But see, here's the thing. Like
240
there's so
students.
many.
That's the difference, right?
240
students. My
not
school
a lot.
had 2,000 students
and 40 students, right?
Right.
That is the thing.
Though.
Like to me, that's how you take the lead to convince other people that have money like yours to do similar things.
Right.
Come together so you can make that 240 students into 2,400 students.
Exactly.
It starts somewhere. So like we have the late start, right? As far as doing things like this, because we've been held back of owning things and being presidents and CEOs, during the slave days and everything else. So we had a late start having this type of ownership, right?
Yeah.
But I still say we could do it tomorrow because we have the resources. We just have to work together. That one aspect of saying, all right, all 6 of y'all got this many millions. I need 5 from each. Let's build this, put this over here, grow it, keep it pushing. And grow it for the long haul, grow it for generations and generations. Yeah. We were talking about fashion yesterday because Pat did her show. And it was just interesting because she was talking about the top 10 designers. Now, 5 of them were people I ain't never heard of.
Okay.
2 were like, I think I heard of them.
Right.
And then 3 were Gucci, people we done been heard of since we were born, right? So you have those staple designers or their staple labels that just will, to us, seem like will never die.
Right.
But yet none of them are those FUBUs or anything like that. So, we kind of had that discussion. Where did the FUBU designers go? Where does
Damon John is on Shark Tank. So that's where
that is
FUBU has
went.
evolved.
Right. And that's very true. So what is he doing now on Shark Tank? Everything.
He's one of the hosts on Shark Tank.
He invested everybody's stuff.
An investor who's, just making a lot of money.
For himself and other people.
Yeah.
So we were talking about that type of situation, but I'm glad that you mentioned that because I did not put 2 and 2 together on that one. And I asked that question and she was like, I don't know. Because Gucci, I even talked about how the different designers evolve, right? And they go with the times or whatever.
Yeah.
But when I think about it, Gucci, it's been Gucci.
Well, you have your designers that
you know what I'm saying,
that have created their lanes, right? Or created for themselves a situation where they're sticking to the classics.
Yeah,
right?
like you have to step up to us.
Right.
We don't go down to where y'all are at.
So you could go to the mall and you can buy a suit from, the hottest like suit maker in the mall, let's say, right? Or a suit maker in your area. They're generally a fashion thing though, right? It's usually a fashionable thing. And I know this because over the years I have bought suits and looking in my closet, even just after moving to Texas, I'm looking at, some of my suits and thinking to myself, I can't wear this anymore. Meanwhile, they lasted, for me, they lasted a good amount of time. But in the end, I'm like, I can't, years ago, I was like, I can't rock this Steve Harvey look anymore. Like, it's a different, right? It's a different suit
Please
thing.
don't come with the three-quarter jacket.
Now, go to Brooks Brothers. Have a Brooks Brothers suit from 1988.
Yeah.
You could still rock that today. Yeah. It's the same. Do you know what I mean?
The basic blue, basic black suit, that type of thing.
They have created and maintained a classic look that doesn't die.
Yeah.
It never goes out of style. You can put on your Brooks Brothers from the 90s and go get a Brooks Brothers today, and that's still that Brooks Brothers
And that's
suit.
what I was thinking. The same Gucci purse that I wanted when I was 12 is the same one that I wanted at 4.
The same one she wants on her birthday.
Right. The station's birthday. It's a drawstring. I think it's like $1,000.
But they create a classic look that never goes out. Now, then you get to your FUBUs. There's a lifespan on that, right? There's a shelf life. Yeah. Like, you're gonna wear that as long unless it evolves. If you think about FUBU clothing right now, you have a mental picture, right?
Right.
Would you put that on today?
No, you couldn't.
Exactly. So unless the brand continues to not only maintain but evolve over the years,
don't you think there's something
you're always going to associate it with the one thing?
And I see that, and that's
troop
why my
jackets.
dad.
Would you throw on a troop jacket? I might throw on a troop jacket.
I don't think
nowadays.
I wore troop jackets when troop jackets were troop jackets.
I might put one on today as a retro kind of look at the fly if I found one. I owned one. I had one, and it was fly. It was
members only jackets.
Members only jackets. And you know what? Some things are obviously, in fashion, everything is cyclical. Right now, what's hot on the streets when it's not 1,000 degrees, and it has been for the past year and a half, flight jacket, the aviator jackets.
Oh yeah.
Go and get you an aviator jacket, and then or pull your. Look at mommy. Mommy's fly. I guess you are. Can I borrow it?
And if we put that on, they can hear that because it's coming from there, but it's not coming from the thing. Hold on, everybody. Just give me 2 seconds.
Maybe perhaps.
All right. Calm down. Unless you see what I see, don't just hit me with the general, like, something might be on.
Turn the volume up.
Oh, just turn it up? Yeah, sure. Oh! Right, because they can hear me from here.
Oh.
They can hear me on the camera that's thing, but that's not what we're trying to do. Stand by, everybody.
Stand by, everybody.
Proper tags. Hold on. It's on default right now, so they can hear us, but I'm pretty sure it's this over here. Sorry, everybody. Just give us 1 second. We're trying to figure out why. And that audio is from over there, so we have to talk loudly. Just one second, guys. Oh, we're back. We are back. Okay, everybody. So Nika had to go for a second because, she took the time. All right, Glow. I understand. You said perhaps, and I get it. Hold on. Let me just make sure the monitor situation here. We got some fuzzies happening. All right, so I think we're back, right, everybody? Can you guys hear us? Let us know, please. Let us know if we are good to go. I hope you guys didn't leave us for that little technical glitch. All right. So anyway, Nika will be right back. She went to the restroom while I figured all this out, which is usually our default position. So you figure this out, and I'll be back. So that's kind of how things are running. Nika, come back to work, man. It's bananas. Anyway, so let us know, everybody, if you guys can hear us loud and clear, just to make sure. Radio is playing some fly music right now. If you guys went over there, then you're listening to that, and you'll hear us in 1 second. In the meantime, I think we're good. Glow, I get it. Thank you for trying to help. I appreciate you. And I apologize for fussing at you. I've never heard that term before, but apparently I did that. So, fussing. I didn't mean to fuss. Are you okay? Are you back? Did you wash your hands? Look. Did you wash your hands?
I went to the bathroom.
Wow. Okay. We'll just
Okay.
Yeah. Are you good?
I'm fabulous.
Okay, turn that down, please. Okay.
All right.
And we're back.
I came back with the spray. Yes.
You sure did. Now it smells like nasty cherries.
Man, let me tell you, this Glade stuff.
Now it smells like cherries
bathroom,
and poop.
Right. Bathroom fragrance poop spray.
Just kidding.
I don't know. I feel the same way about it. I feel the same way.
I didn't know when you peed it smelled like poop. No.
It's a joke. It's a joke. We're fine. Anyway, so LeBron James, back to where we was talking.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I mean, I feel like it was over. But look, good job, LeBron. I just,
Right.
I do feel like, folks with money in situations that it's hard watching people with money because you feel like you want to tell them what to do with their money. You know, like if you had his money, would you want people to tell you, you need to give that away?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You need to go build us something, that kind of thing. So I feel like you were talking about expectations of folks. I feel like we do expect people, in the spotlight that we watch being millionaires to do something and give back to the community.
Right.
And that's, I can Charles Barkley that. Y'all remember when he said, ain't nobody do this to be, I play in basketball. I'm not trying to be a role model, right?
Yep.
That's something that y'all are putting on me.
Right.
So, I put that statement out there to say that's their money. They don't have to do anything, but we do know how influential people who are in the media and who are in the spotlight are. Mm-hmm. And one little act of anything, I mean, we look at the challenges, to a point. Someone who just makes music, we make these people bigger than what they are. They are just really people, right? So
right.
Drake makes music. He made a song. And then one day someone decided, let's do this challenge. And you've got thousands, hundreds of thousands of people doing something with your song, you know? And now you've got the FBI and whatever, like major corporations, organizations looking at you like you started it, like it's your fault, right? So we know how influential they are. And so to do stuff like this, to me, is huge. It's important because LeBron, that news of LeBron opening a school sparked somebody else to say, man, I want to do something.
Right.
I want to help some way. I want to leave a legacy like that. Which means more people are going to get a platform. More people are going to get helped.
Yep.
So that, at the end of the day, is what's important to me. You know what I'm saying? That regardless, we still uplifting the kingdom in the best way that we know how. And you can do it too. You don't have LeBron's money, but that's what we keep on telling everybody. Your $5 can change. We can take a building, all these buildings on the east side, and this is when people are going to stop dropping off the feed because you don't want to hear this part. We can talk about LeBron's money all day long and how LeBron bought a building. But when I say we can do the same thing because we have how many people in San Antonio?
1.7 million people just in the city limits.
Just in the city. So if we want to talk about community and our community, the community of San Antonio, we're not talking about color. We're not talking about race.
No.
We're talking about the people who live next to each other in San Antonio.
Right.
If everybody gave $5, how much money would we have? Right?
Yep.
How many, we could build a school.
Almost $10 million.
We could build a school. And the community could be LeBron. Right? So this is the stuff with LeBron doing it. To me, I like it because it's just an example for me to say again. That's the only reason I loved Black Panther as a movie because I'm a Marvel fan. But I like what happened during Black Panther so I can continue to remind you that all you did was went and spend $12. But altogether, billions were made. So same concept, different purpose.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
So, like, literally, hopefully that gets you to understand, as they dropping off the feed, we can be LeBron too. All it takes is $5, $6, but everybody doing it at the same time. Not 20 people doing it this week and 50 people doing it this week and 1,000 people doing it next month. No, we got to pick a day. Everybody do it. Let's raise this money and go make changes.
Right.
Period. That's what I got 5 on it was for. But again, we look at the rich people and be awed about what they can do.
We're odd, and we should also again manage our expectations because we're looking at people who are wealthy and working hard to keep their wealth while they give back.
Right.
We have never been wealthy, so we can't put our kind of
what we think you should do with your money,
understandings on I mean, when you're wealthy, your world is different. Not just because the people around you change, but because the decisions you make change. They affect not only you, but not only your immediate family, but hundreds of people.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like LeBron James has a lot of money. You know how many people are employed by this man,
right,
just because he has a lot of money?
That's right.
Forgetting just the people that help him to continue to make the money, which is, your trainers and the basketball team and all those people that are there. And not just having a personal assistant or a personal chef, which is more people that you're employing and that are now feeding their families, and maids and all that stuff that are feeding their family off of you. But LeBron James, as a foundation, as a business, this man is employing people.
That's right.
This man has people that work for him that depend on that money to feed their families and to, and anybody that owns a corporation, same thing. These CEOs are going crazy right now. Not right now. They've always been going crazy. They're being held accountable now. But look at that. A CEO that might be running, I don't know. The only person coming to mind right now is Les Moonves, because he's the head of CBS and he's caught up in the Me Too right now as well. But somebody like that, who's also the chairman at CBS, his decisions affect thousands and thousands of people. Right. And that wealth also begets, the whole Biggie, more money, more problems.
Yeah,
it's a different level.
It's a different.
So I can't say because I want, because one year I made a couple $100,000 that I know how to spend LeBron's money. Right. Don't. Or with my little, $50,000 a year check, or with my little $30,000 a year check, now I know how LeBron needs to spend his money. It's a different. You don't even understand the kind of things you have to worry about. When you have that kind of money. And you're right.
The kind of things you have to worry about. Everybody trying to get it, borrow it, steal it.
And that's just the defense you have to play. Now when you have it, how do I keep it? Or keep the bulk of it, and then how do I grow it?
So I want to ask a question, because we were discussing this yesterday, and you said the word just a second ago, and that was accountable, right? Yeah. So we always talk about holding people accountable and things like that. Can anyone out there, tell me like the definition that you think is holding someone accountable? Because lately I feel like everybody's saying the right words out of their mouth, but their actions don't necessarily match up to what their words are saying.
I got the perfect story that I was reading this morning about that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I just, it's irritating me, because we wonder why stuff isn't changing, and I'm like, because everybody's just talking the talk and there's no walking going on. Right. One of the main reasons why I said I'm never going to another female brunch, because I'm sick of hearing about women empowerment and uplifting each other and woo, woo, woo. But then when you actually have the chance to uplift someone, you don't do it. So why did we go to brunch? Why did we talk about all this just to spend more money and be drunk for a couple of hours? Like, it makes no sense. We've got to get past the march, shall I say, right? Mm-hmm. The march is important. The talking is important. The yay, I feel great is important. But then when you're actually in front of doing it, you need to do it. Yeah. And then what we say is, if they're not doing it, we've got to hold people accountable for it. What is holding someone accountable? Now, we talk about it in voting. That means I'm not going to vote you back into office. Well, okay, if that's the case, then okay, we're holding them accountable, but we're also not giving them a chance to fix it either. So there needs to be something, and that, if I'm thinking about elections, there's got to be something in between that I voted for you and that I'm not going to re-vote for you, right? Because say I'm just going to go through your whole term and you just messing up, and I'm not going to do anything in that term, and the only thing I can do is just not vote for you again. So I guess my thing is, what are other ways to hold someone accountable for their actions, and that you're actually doing it, and we're not just saying hold people accountable, hold people accountable? What's the action behind that?
Okay, so going just rewinding just a little bit to the, and then I got something for the next one too, but rewinding a little bit to the idea of, I'm tired of going to these lunches and these brunches and these whatevers. When deciding, remember how we always say on this show, we've been saying it for months now, when you read a book, try to figure out a little something about the author, and that'll tell you how to accept that book, whether it's or an article or a movie or whatever. If you know something about the author, it should inform you a lot more about what it is that you're reading or what it is that you're ingesting via your eyes, your ears, and all that, right? Mm-hmm. I think that that's the same thing when it comes to these lunches and brunches and events and stuff. Know something about who's throwing it. Because if you're looking at, let's say, an organization that really has had very minimal impact on the society at large or the community at large or your city at large, if they had a very minimal impact and yet they're always doing these events, then the event is really just promoting them. It doesn't accomplish anything. Why support it? If all it's really doing is accomplishing, you keep seeing their logo or you keep seeing their name, but they're not really doing anything for the community except putting on brunches,
right,
then you know the effectiveness of that event, and then you can decide whether or not to lend your time, which is worth a whole lot more than your money,
right,
to such an event, right? Something like.
So my question, just like with that,
yeah,
with that sense right there. So it's like, okay, say they put on a bunch of brunches or a bunch of events, and we're not seeing the, what's going from that.
Nothing comes to fruition.
Do you stop going to the brunches and the events, or do you go to the president of the organization and say, where is this money going? We need you to show us how it's giving back into the community. Can you, because
so maybe my mom taught me this actually recently, mm-hmm, which you never stop learning from your parents, right? You never stop. I mean, even today, you're reminiscing.
Absolutely. It's another lesson.
Holds a lot of lessons in there,
absolutely,
right? Oh my gosh, I remember when my daddy said,
and I get that. Now I get another angle of it, or yes, right, absolutely.
So you never stop learning from your parents. And my mom taught me something the other day. And she said, when you make a decision, make sure when that involves another person, right? And you need to stop hitting them. When you make a decision that involves another person, make sure that you have given that other person ample time and ample notice and ample kind of chance to rectify before you move away, right?
Boom.
So
yes, and I feel like our culture doesn't give the people a chance. We don't do the talking and give the chance to rectify.
Right.
We just do
like you're cut off.
The elect, and then we're not talking to you no more. So where's the accountability?
But because that's not only in politics. That's the thing,
and that's
right?
my point.
And
that's really, I use politics because I felt like it was the easiest example to see.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to get it out of my head onto the words, right? But I feel like that's how we are on an everyday community level, relationship level, whatever the case may be. And I had, and I'm going to put myself as an example from why this even came up, but there was an individual that basically did me dirty, right?
Okay.
They did me dirty, and that's just what it was. And they're involved in community things and this, that, and the other. Well, at the end of the day, there was an event that happened that I'm not there at. Right?
Okay.
Why is this person not there? Oh, well, because they did me dirty. So you know what I'm saying? You already know how we are as human beings. So that ego got in the way. And it was like, you're hurting the purpose because of your ego right now. Because these people need to be involved in this entity, right? Get all of that. My whole thing was, because then it always comes to me, oh, well, Nika, just let it go. Who cares? Move on. At what point in time do we hold people accountable? If I'm going to who cares, don't matter, move on, whatever, then that person gets another pass. And they never change. They continue to treat people the same way. They continue to give out the same. But they're in a position that can help the community. Right? So to me, holding that person accountable is going to that person and somebody, whether it be me, whoever can get in, teach them. Show them, get them to understand what their actions are doing and how they are hurting the masses. How that one little ego that you are keeping from maybe this, and this is hurting the masses. One word, NAACP convention. Little egos hurt the masses because you don't want to be accountable for your actions, which means I'm sorry, I was wrong.
Right.
I understand that I did that incorrectly, and I'm going to do better next time. I have learned from my mistake. I went and took a class. Now I know how to organize that better. To me, that is holding people accountable, but at the same time, helping people, not just abandoning the situation. because then we're not going to ever get it.
Right.
We don't want a spot where we never get the NAACP convention. We want a spot that we can make it better, so when it comes down again, it's awesome. It's even better than it was the last time.
Or any event in the city.
And I just, again, using that as an example because we talked about it before.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get where the actions of the in-between. Where's it? What do we do in between? You see someone doing wrong, you see it. What actions do you take there? Maybe you don't feel comfortable going to talk to them or having that conversation, but somebody needs to. We can't just all say, well, what? We're not going there anymore.
Right.
We're not going to support the Boys and Girls Club anymore. The Boys and Girls Club has done too many good things to just drop them. So we got to make sure, and I'm not saying the Boys and Girls Club did anything, just an example.
No,
If something happened to where on the east side there was a problem, whatever, we got to go and say, we know Kevin Shandy's over there. Let's go see how we can lift him up, how we can help him, how we can support him, so that way the entity in which he works in is successful instead of we didn't abandon the Boys and Girls Club. That's silly, but that to me is our mentality.
So I think there is a somewhat of a mechanism, you know, in giving someone that second chance, right? Or not second chance, but giving them time to rectify, right? So, and again, going back to my mom's lesson, I gave it a lot of thought, and I think
Goodness, Fly. Sorry, it is like attacking.
Shoot, Fly, shoot. Right. So I think there's the chance to rectify is that middle ground, right? So you give somebody the benefit of the doubt when it comes to an event, a situation, or what have you, right? And you say, okay, let's do this. And when they've proven that something's wrong, there's ego, or there's not a lot of motivation to do it anymore, or there's something going on, then you approach them and you say, look, whether it's you, whether it's getting somebody to go, whether it's a group of us to go and have an intervention with this person and say, look, man, look around you.
Yeah.
Things are failing right now because of something you're doing, right? And this is the way we see it. Now, we'd be more motivated or happier or what have you to help if these things can change. Then you give them a second to rectify. Give them a day. Give them a week, depending on the situation.
Whatever the situation is. That's right.
Give them time. Give them another event or two to figure it out and make the change. If it doesn't happen, know when to cut your losses, right? Know when to say, look, man, you know, we told you what was happening. You kept doing it. I'm out. Like, we have to go.
We're out.
And now we're out. And that would be the consequence.
There you go.
Between the, hey, we've got your back, and the you're no longer doing it.
Right.
The consequence is you lost me. Right. But I gave you a chance to fix it.
And I think that even in regular relationships, you got to think about that, because a lot of folks get mad at people for whatever reason, you know, whatever reason you fall out or do something. But you got mad at them, but you didn't even tell them you were mad. You didn't tell them that they hurt your feelings.
Right.
You didn't tell them that they did something. So they had no idea.
I had no clue. And
right?
then suddenly you're gone, and it's a surprise.
And then it's like, wow, now you don't mess with me no more, or now you don't, what the heck happened? And then you go back and you explain, now it being months or years later,
and the damage
I don't even
has been
remember.
Done.
Right? Oh my God, I did that to you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, if you would have told me that night.
Right.
That, hey, Nika, you took the mic out of my hand, and I didn't appreciate that.
Right.
Meanwhile, you didn't know that someone told me, hey, go get that mic and go walk on stage and do this particular stuff. You put it on me, but I was just doing what I was told to do. And now we ain't been friends for 5 years?
Right. And nobody, and you know what? How many friendships, how many people do you guys know in your families where a misunderstanding probably caused a terrible rift that was never spoken about? Or how many friends have you stopped talking to over the years and never rectified a situation, or maybe even gotten their point of view of what happened and talked it out, and then maybe decided, okay, we just shouldn't be friends anymore.
Yeah.
But how many people just floated away from each other
without even asking,
without even talking?
And that to me is crazy. And I know some people want to, you know, they don't want confrontation. You know, all that good stuff. I get it.
Sure.
But to me, I just feel like if we're going to talk about holding people accountable, then we need to do that. And it needs to be more than just grand opening, grand closing. There's got to be some middle ground in there.
Yeah.
There's got to be some conversation, and there's got to be work on both parties.
Right.
You know, so, I'm going to go back, and I'll go back to the election side or the church side or any side that you want to think of. You're in charge. We elected you to do this. Yeah, you elected me to be the face, but I'm not all the work. The community still has to work.
Right.
You know, your job, you got a boss, but the people in the building still have to work. Right. And that's the same thing with politics and religion, everything. The pastor is not the sole person that's responsible for the church to be successful.
Right.
It's the congregation as well.
There's a team, yeah.
And
it takes a village for everything.
if the congregation is out there treating people like crap,
right.
You know, you
yeah, we have an issue.
So
We're not all working together.
I just feel like that was my biggest thing, and I said that yesterday too. I was like, I will not just work with folks when you know you will. When you apologize to me, Nika, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Can we move forward? Absolutely, but I'm not finna let you not have to say because I got to. Right. When I'm wrong, I gotta say I'm sorry. When I do something bad or hurt somebody's feelings, I gotta come and save face. So you got to too.
Right.
I'm not giving nobody no passes. Sorry, that was my rant for the day.
Absolutely, and you're right. And you know what? In the election situation too, there is a mechanism for that. Right? There's a mechanism for consequence that people don't really exercise.
They don't exercise
because. There's a mechanism for recompense between the voting and the election, right? And unfortunately, it's one of those things that people in general are just disengaged from, right? And that's being involved.
Yeah.
So the recompense is impeachment. Any elected official can be impeached, right? You're not doing a good job, you have to go.
But we don't recognize. We don't have to wait 4 years.
We don't have to wait 4 years before we can get you out of office.
Yeah.
We can for sure write every congressman, write every representative, write everybody that's in the other legislative branches and say, we need this person out.
Yep.
And just like you voting to get them in, you can vote to get them out.
Yep.
The same thing. And you don't have to wait until election time again. You don't have to wait until the midterms. That's why people keep throwing the impeachment thing. You know, liberals keep throwing the impeachment thing at anybody who'll listen about Donald Trump because
you can do it
I don't
now.
want to wait 4 years for them. You know, they're saying I don't want to wait 4 years.
Yeah, we can do this right now.
We can do this right now, and you know, and you can do that with any elected official. You know that the conservatives or Republicans in Washington have started impeachment proceedings against the deputy attorney general.
Boom.
That's not even like we didn't vote him in. I don't believe I didn't vote for a deputy. I don't remember voting for it. But either way, it's a position in
that somebody elected. So that means we can put you. If we vote you in, we can vote you out.
I think they're appointed, but still. Even for appointees, there's impeachment proceedings that can happen. Not just like you need to be fired,
and that makes
but
sense.
Like call your representative, call your senators, and say we need this person out, and they will begin those proceedings.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like they'll begin those proceedings for any official. If we don't like the Secretary of Education, we can speak up and say we need this person out. And your representatives and senators are supposed to start proceedings. Like, look, there are 100 senators, right? 2 from every state, and unfortunately, 60% of them are like, we got to start these impeachment proceedings because my district is...
My whole entire district.
Everybody is up in arms. And they elected me, or else they'll begin impeachment proceedings on me.
That's right. And that's exactly right. And
but
that's what I feel.
We're not engaged enough
to do that. Yeah. And that's why I'm like, dude, we have the control in our hands. We just don't use it. We're not active enough.
We would rather shake our fists at the rain.
That's right.
Than get an umbrella.
There we go. Glow says everyone wants you to let something go when it's you. I'm like, they didn't steal your money and or run your name down. I'm holding everyone accountable. Your word should be your word. She also says, I'm like baseball. You get 3 strikes and then you out.
Okay. Well, and everybody has their personal rules. Everybody has their own laws.
But hey, you're
how to
giving
deal
people
with me.
chances. Now that she's actually basically saying, I'm giving you 3
I'm giving you
chances,
3 chances
to get it
right.
together.
Not even just the one chance.
Right.
Like,
I'm giving you 3. And then
giving
after
you
that
3.
third one, we got to part ways.
And she's being generous. I'll
Very.
be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because somebody hits me with a car twice. I might not come around your block anymore.
Right.
Like, I think I'm done. Somebody hits me with a car
Twice.
once, I might not come back around. But she's
twice
generous.
for sure. For
Twice for sure. Shame on me. Shame on me.
Oh
Man.
my goodness. Hey, so have you ever couponed before?
Like as an active, like get a bunch of coupons, look for them, and then go to the store. No. I wanted to because I thought it was like a really cool thing when I saw it on television. And I don't mind being frugal when it comes to certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to, and but here's the thing: I wanted to, but I didn't want to do it by myself. So I called my wife, and I was like, "We
Let's
need to do
coupon."
this." I will say this: doing that in New York is not feasible. It's not really feasible because they don't do. In the cities, they don't really do like double coupon days, and like you can't really take advantage of a thing.
Right.
It's only like you got a coupon, yeah, okay, you save 50 cents.
Yeah.
I can't bring you 5 coupons and you charge me one at a time because there's a line of 1,000 people behind me. Like, come on, dude, like let's go or whatever.
Yes.
It's not a real feasible kind of thing.
How
but
funny.
I would have loved at some, but now I'm over it. But when I wanted to,
is couponing illegal?
no.
Can't be, right?
No.
Cannot be illegal because everybody coupons, right?
Well, it depends. I mean, what kind of couponing? If you're taking advantage of a system,
Isn't that
you
couponing?
got 3 more chances according to Globe.
It's on your thing.
Is it?
It's
Oh,
on your head.
It's on my. We have, for some reason, a fly.
This
has
fly is out of
invaded the one
control,
today.
man, and it's like keeps
It's
hitting
like-
us in the face. But
Ghetto flies.
well, because there was a guy that basically called the police.
He's a ghetto fly. It's a ghetto fly.
It is kind of a ghetto.
No,
fly.
like it's like acting terribly right now. Like comport yourself, fly.
Get it
Don't
together.
be like my cousin Kiko. All right, chill.
Well, hey, look, real fast before I tell you the
Sorry.
story. It's okay. Someone was here. I didn't know who was here. There was
See?
stuff. Right.
See?
There was stuff going on, and I was like, "Who's there?" And then Mia showed her
Hi,
pretty
Mia.
face. What do you got over there? What did you make us?
Mia made us something.
She made us something.
Come on.
First,
you
she brought you
lollipops
cake.
Before. And
She's
cake.
brought you cake,
Yes.
cupcakes.
What is happening?
Oh,
All right, hold on a second. You can keep the cake if you can get rid of this fly.
Grab what she's giving you. Or no.
National Avocado Day.
Oh, you're gonna be our official.
Guacamole.
You're gonna be our official.
Can we get catering here in the mornings?
Huh?
Can we get her a gig catering?
Yeah, like
For us?
something. That's
Every
what I'm
morning, look
saying.
at
She's gotta
this.
be like our official theme person.
Boom! Look at this. It's National
Yes.
Avocado Day. And
It's
she brought
National
in some
Avocado
mild
Day.
Guacamole. Aww.
And I
thank you,
like
Mia.
guac.
You like guac?
Yes, ma'am.
Very cool.
I don't
am
know
a
if I should
boy.
be offended by this
I
watermelon.
am a boy.
Does watermelon just go with guacamole?
That's fine. You don't have to be offended. I like watermelon and chicken. Okay, so tell me your story.
I forgot after that.
Ah, the ghetto fly, man.
I
This
totally
fly-
forgot.
This fly is acting a fool.
That was so fool. Oh my God. Now he's over
I
there.
think I heard her call me a bitch earlier. I was like, what? I don't want to kill it.
And then
though.
he slapped you across the face
Yeah.
like, what?
I'm like, what? And then I heard it fly away going,
That was funny.
Pootie Tang style.
Okay, so here's the
I
story.
don't want to kill. Oh, I'm sorry. Continue.
No, I mean,
I
you
think
need to
there are
kill
2,
him.
and I think that's why they're. I don't want to kill it, but I would like it for. Okay, look, fly. Let me explain something to you. Oh, you just gonna walk away while I'm talking to you?
Exactly.
Just gonna fly away? Oh no, you don't fly away from me. Sorry. What's the story, man? Yeah, some rocking. Have my chicken and water.
Sorry, okay. So basically, my girl, who was not my girl, but since she's a black woman, we're just going to go with the black lingo and say that's my girl.
Okay.
She was couponing
Okay.
in Family Dollar or
Okay.
somewhere. And apparently, you know, she got deemed couponing while black. And the manager, called the police on her.
Why?
Because she was couponing and taking advantage of the situation and the way he felt it was. And then she started recording because, you know, everybody's got to record the moments.
You have to.
You got to record the
now.
moments. And so then he called and said, you know, she's recording me and I don't want her to record me. So then he called the police about that. But he basically was like, you can't do this. And she was like, well, why not? It says, because usually it says how many coupons you can use and whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. So I done brought my coupons in. And I mean, when you coupon, really you're getting laundry detergent, you know, things like that. It's not like you getting free lamb chops. I mean, I'm just saying. Lobster tails and
you're right.
things.
You're right.
It's
You're
really
getting,
more
it's
like detergent,
always
shampoo.
What's available, right?
It's more
like
of
what's
that.
available on a coupon. So it's usually like, you know,
it's detergent, shampoo,
paper towels, and
yes,
just like
it's mostly those
mostly
items. And when you look when you meet a couponer, they all have their little setup in the garage because
Right.
once you get to a certain stage, you're literally getting 12, you know, free detergents
Right.
and whatever the case may be. But they're the ones that put this system together. Right. They're the ones that knew how to get you to go do whatever. So a little mama's bill was like $40-something. She hit her coupons in there and she was paying $11. Daddy wasn't happy. So he called the cops on him.
Okay.
I said couponing while black. I mean, that was all,
okay.
You know.
So here is something that we've talked about before and that I think bears repeating. Okay, because it's been a while. Mm-hmm. That is, in a lot of ways, the difference between that which we are fighting and that which we are. Mm-hmm. Right? So you're in a situation where you're couponing and the manager is refusing to, he refused to do it, right? He refused to honor the coupon system and
in which y'all printed.
Yeah. So you guys printed this sale. I'm honoring and I'm following the rules of your game that you set up and you now are not honoring the rules. What is the first thing that happens when people in power feel that they're getting taken advantage of by people that do not have a specific, they perceive to not have any power? They call the authorities. Mm-hmm. Why is it that your girl did not call the authorities first saying, hey, there is a situation here where I am allowed by law, because you printed it, to purchase all of these items using these coupons for this amount of money? You are not honoring that, sir. So I am calling the police on you. What we do is we pick up our phones to record the situation, right? Because we're thinking, on some level, we're thinking social justice warrior. On another very subliminal part, we're thinking, look at the amount of likes I'm about to get, as opposed to actually seeking the justice and calling the authorities. We don't litigate, we become victims. We don't call the authorities first, we get the authorities called on us. That needs to change. That needs to stop. These people work for us just as much as these people work for people that perceive to have more power than us.
Man, that's so good.
It's protect and serve everybody. It's not a matter of protect and serve only the people with money. If you don't have perceived power or you don't have money, that does not mean that these people don't work for you every bit as much as they work for a Rockefeller.
It's so good. I'm just eating my chips.
and I'm sorry to get loud, but the truth of the matter is we need to wake up on some level, on a lot of levels really, but we need to wake up and understand that we have the same remedies that the manager of the local Family Dollar has when it comes to injustice. Mm-hmm. The manager of any movie theater has when it comes to injustice. The owner of a bank when it comes to injustice. Yeah, there are other mechanisms and stuff like that that function behind the scenes when you have a lot of money. Like you gave a lot of money to the mayoral race, so now the mayor is kind of, he feels like he owes you a favor, she feels like she owes you a favor, or different elected officials or the police commissioner or whatever. I get that. But that should not preclude you from calling the authorities when you feel you've been wronged.
So
call the authorities instead of Instagramming this
Right.
thing or Facebook Living this thing and
Right.
thinking I'm going to get likes. Cultural is the difference between cultural justice and an actual getting involved justice are two very different things.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the difference between those that are moneyed and those
Yes.
that are not.
Yes.
Those Republicans, believe it or not, and those that are Democrats
Yes.
when it comes to politics.
Yes.
The difference is the Democrats think that justice will arrive through culture.
Yes.
And the reality is obviously what the Republicans are doing is that justice or what you want actually arrives through getting involved
That's
and
right.
voting stuff in
That's right.
and doing stuff. So don't grab your phone thinking that culturally you're going to be vindicated. Grab your phone and call the cops and say, look, this gentleman right here is not playing by the rules and I need you guys to come. And so when they come, they're looking at them. They're looking at the company. They're looking at the people that are oppressing you.
So Nicole said
And
that
not the
either
oppressed.
one should have called the corporate office instead of the police. So her statement is call the office that the Family Dollar in which made the coupon,
But
not the
I-
law who is supposed to be
I
protecting and
get
serving.
that. I get that, but it's really
But
about
yeah.
it's really about who gets there first, right?
Right.
So who are you gonna call? Who's the corporate office that you're gonna call? Now
No,
I gotta
no.
Google the company. Now I gotta find out. Okay, Family Dollar, Akron, Ohio. Okay, now I gotta try to call some secretary that's then gonna who's in charge of. Meanwhile, 911. What's your emergency? My emergency is that I'm being oppressed by this gentleman that's right here, and I need the police to come immediately because this isn't right.
Right.
So they should also be able to respond to that emergency the same way that they respond to, hey, I'm the manager here at the Family Dollar, and there's some lady here acting wild.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Which is not the case.
And that's not the case.
It's not the case. And as a matter of fact, if I get to it, I'll still call the police. There's a gentleman here that's calling 911 saying that I'm acting wild. I am not. I would appreciate it if the police came over here and helped us to rectify a situation where this man is not playing by the rules.
Yeah.
The printed rules.
Absolutely.
And period.
And you
And
know
then
what?
let corporate get
And
involved
then
after they hear about it.
because they will.
They will.
After
They're
that,
gonna hear
because if
about it
there's
right
not
away.
any police, there, you know, again, depending on
We gotta
how.
stop eating on here.
Yeah.
Because it's so good. Sorry.
Oh, I'm gonna eat.
Oh.
It's so good.
But you're right. The corporate office needs to get involved, Nicole. You're absolutely right, 100%. But in the heat of the moment, the authorities, the mediators are going to be the people you can get in touch with the
Yes.
quickest. And that's always going to be the police.
Yeah.
Always going to be the police. And they're there to serve you just as much as they're there to serve. And there's a big misunderstanding and a lot. I mean, yes, there are your bad apples, so to speak, right? And I have cops in my family. I'm sure you know many police officers as well. We're in a military city, so I know that a lot of people here know either police or military personnel. Understand that a lot of times, or some of these times, when you're looking at the YouTube videos, that's not the violent ones, it's not the clip of where the cop shoots somebody or becomes a thing. When the police are called, and I've seen this when it comes to, I remember watching one a couple of weeks ago where this family was unhappy with their movie-going experience. So the mom and the dad went out to the thing, and then to talk to the manager, like, hey, we're gonna want a refund, and we're gonna want to, because there's a big hum in the theater while we're trying to watch this movie, or a big screeching noise. That's not a good movie going experience. We're gonna want our money back, and we'll come another day or whatever. Guy got all pissy and thought that they were getting
Getting
wild,
angry.
so
Right,
he
right.
called the police. I'm watching this video, and he calls the police because they want to go back in to get their kids. All they want to do, okay, so we're going to go back in and get our kids, and we're leaving. No, you're not allowed back in. Our children are in there. Like, kids, like 13 and under.
Yeah.
Watching this movie. I want to get my kids because I'm leaving. They were barred from going back into the thing. And then he calls the police
Wow.
on them. Police get there, and they're like, Nobody's acting wild, but if you take the time to explain, obviously they were able to get their kids and they were able to go, and she recorded the whole thing. One was a school teacher. The mom, the dad was a school teacher, and the mom was like, I forgot what she did for a living, but just average, normal, everyday, middle-class people going to a movie. But
And
unfortunately,
ran
they
into
are
somebody-
also black
Right.
and ran into somebody
Having
who
a bad day.
But the police go there, and nobody got killed, nobody got shot, and it was just kind of like
All right.
trying to listen to the conversation and then mediate and figure out. You know, and a police officer, as long as everybody's calm and will talk about their story,
They gonna be
in
calm,
a calm situation. Of course, they're gonna help. They're gonna be like, okay, Mister, you gotta let them go get their kids. Like, what are you doing? And then, you know, if you're unhappy with the movie going experience and you were asking him for a refund, you were trying to leave, and he wouldn't go let you get your kids, you have to go let them get their kids and please give them a refund for their.
Right.
And then done. And everybody's going to comply and it's not going to be an issue and everything will be fine.
And everything will be fine.
But as long as it's the one person that thinks that they're in power calling the cops and saying, this person acting wild, Nika acting wild up in here, you got to come get her.
Right.
Then the attitude is already, oh boy, now we got to go get this crazy lady.
That's exactly.
As opposed to,
Yeah.
wait a minute, what's happening? So there's a lady calling that the manager's acting crazy, and the manager's calling saying that lady's acting crazy. Now they
now
don't
there's
know. Even ground when they
even
walk in.
ground.
What is happening here?
Even ground. And you know what? You are very right about that.
What is happening?
Because when they make the call, they're gonna approach it by what the call was. So if I'm thinking about the barbecue people, barbecue Becky, she done called about the pit.
Right.
If the guy would have called and said, look, now again, with good cops that will take time to assess the situation,
Right.
great.
Well
but
trained.
we also know that doesn't happen because how did the little 12-year-old the lady who called said, now I'm going to the gun incident where the little kid got shot because he was playing with the fake gun and he was on the playground. Someone called and said, we believe that it might be a toy, but we're not sure. And when the cops got there within less than 60 seconds, they have pulled out their guns and shot.
Yeah.
So to me, they already had something in their mind before they drove up
Right.
to that
It was
playground.
they were tense coming
They were already ready to shoot somebody.
Right.
They already knew it ain't no toy.
Right.
They had already decided that even though that woman said on the phone, it could be a toy.
Right.
But they already decided that. So I totally agree with you. If he would have called, man, there's a crazy white woman literally won't let me barbecue.
I am being
harassed by a
this
woman,
Can
and
you
all
please
we're
come
doing
help
is
me?
barbecue, and we need some help.
Right.
Now that call, even if the cop is already on its way, that call is going to come into the cop's car and say, hey, we just got another call from apparently the other person.
Right.
And you're right. Now they can come in there, and if they don't, then you can now go back and say, hold on.
Hold on. There's 2 911 calls.
Yes.
And one of
And
them
why
was
didn't
for
you
me.
look? Right.
Right. One of them was
Right.
for me, calm and cool as collected could be,
Right.
that's telling you that there is this lady,
That's right.
white or black or Asian
Indifferent,
or
whatever.
indifferent, whatever it is, there's
right.
somebody
That's
that is
right.
bothering me. There was a few weeks ago, there was also that incident where this young lady was being harassed by, and I gotta say, a white guy, because it was a racial harassment, right? Go back to your country, do whatever. She's
Look at me,
she's setting up a pavilion for a birthday party. And there's just some, I think he might have been intoxicated, I don't know, but there's just some big burly white guy saying, rah, 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 go back to your country, you shouldn't be here, la, 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 la. There's a police officer 20 feet away where she walked over to him and said, officer, sir, could you please help me? This man is harassing me. And then he was just still going on. The police officer did nothing, just left. He's now like suspended and under investigation or whatever for why didn't you help? To add a cherry to this crap Sunday, I don't want to swear, to add a cherry to
Right.
this crap Sunday, she's Puerto Rican. That's America. They're Americans.
Yeah.
So ignorance on top of bigotry.
Right.
And on top of the bigotry of the officer who didn't even want to be involved while you're on duty, patrolling a park and being asked for help from an American who's being harassed.
From a person But you're right.
And you're
from an American.
And you're I'm an American who is currently being harassed.
And the thing about it is, and that's why I hated the All Black Lives Matter movement.
The All Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Oh,
movement.
you're not a fan of the Black
I hated
Lives
the Black Lives Matter movement. Not the movement itself or what it stood for, but the fact that I got to tell you that my life matters. I got to tell you this.
Right. Well, you didn't like that it had to happen. Not that you didn't like the movement.
I like the movement. Right. I love the movement as far as people just getting involved in something. I'm not even going to say that I love the movement. I like the fact that people are speaking up and whatever. But I can't stand the fact that I've got to literally tell you that my life matters, that black people's lives matter.
Right.
And then you're going to combat that. Well, with blue lives matter. Well, all lives matter. And we got to argue about whose life matters. Are we doing this right now?
Yes.
What a waste of freaking time.
So it's engineered to take the power out of it, right? It's engineered to take the power out of it. So I have to tell you that my life matters because, and I had to explain this I've had to explain this to a couple of family members. Like, why do they get mad when they say all lives matter? Because don't they all matter? And I'm like, yes, but you're in a situation where for hundreds of years you are being minimized. You are being told that you're less than. You're being treated as if you're less than.
That's right.
So much so that your death is
less than.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So that I have to stand up and finally yell out from the mountaintops, my life matters.
Yes.
And then your first reaction is to say, well, all lives matter. The minimizing again of
minimizing
it
again.
and making me feel less than again and trying to minimize what I'm saying to you without even internalizing what I'm saying to you. I am human, right? If I'm in a dark room and you're in a dark room,
right, and
we're trying to both escape from this room, it shouldn't matter to you, or it won't matter to you because you won't even know.
And that language right there, and I'm gonna hate to be the bearer of bad news. We keep that language in our own cultures. There's so many people. Oh, we're gonna go to that little radio show that you do.
The minimizing. The minimizing.
We do that to each other so much.
Well, that's just the mark of a
man.
I need to get a list. I need to get a list of words that mean the words that I want to say that I can't say on the radio. I need to get a list of those words because I can't always go crazy. I can't always think about them. But
so one day he's gonna be in here: pineapple, apple, sesame seed, cake, double chocolate. That means he is angry.
Yeah. You just got anyway. No, but that part right there is the mark, and that just shows you that they're across the board, right? It doesn't matter your nationality, it doesn't matter your race, it doesn't matter your gender, it doesn't matter your disposition. There are jerks in every category of human being, right? There are jerks in every one of them. So anybody who minimizes you by calling something you're little this or you're little that. Obviously they're trying to minimize you and puff themselves up. Just let that flow off your back and don't even okay, whatever. Just brush that off your shoulder and keep it moving because it says more about the person saying it than it does about your accomplishment.
Or you could tell them it's no little anything. You mean my radio station. To me, I don't know. Yeah. I get
you can
back
engage
to that.
or not engage, but you know.
And I guess that's kind of like pick your battle type situation. But I'm sick of giving people passes. Again, how many times you gonna just let somebody say something or whatever without telling them you're wrong?
Right.
You ain't got to start a fight. Yeah. You ain't got to pull no gun or no whatever. Hey, guess what? That's not correct. Actually, it's this. Right. We've got 10,000 listeners. That's no little nothing. It's a great accomplishment, and I would appreciate it if you didn't call it my little radio station.
And you built it from zero.
So, if you want to, it's called The One, right? Not the little one, but The One.
Right.
And just, and change it. So then that way they're like, because maybe they didn't realize it. Maybe they didn't realize
they know what they're doing.
I'm trying to give somebody.
No,
they be knowing. So everybody that's ever called my radio station a little radio station, you really knew what you was doing.
Or anything that you're doing, like your little party or your little event or your little something, whether it sounds snarky or not, the putting the little in there is a minimization of what you're doing.
That's right.
Because to you it's not little. to you, you know,
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. You know, oh, your little Nobel Prize. Your little $1 million.
Yeah.
Your little,
Yeah.
they're minimizing you. There's no getting around that. Unless you're saying something is truly small, like your little car or
Right.
your little child.
Right.
Okay, I get that because
Yeah.
it's truly a little thing.
Yeah.
But if this is your work, your accomplishments, your passion, this is what you do, and somebody prefaces what they call it with the word little, they're purposefully trying to minimize you to make themselves feel better. That's a jerk. Turn around and walk away if you can. If you can.
I like it.
No 3
He
strikes on
says,
that.
that's a jerk.
Yeah.
Recognize that flag. I love it. I love it. I love it. I just got to get up on that. So very thankful.
So there's so much to talk about.
Well, we can't talk about that.
Lil Kim coming out with new music. That's nice. I like Lil Kim. I come from Bed-Stuy. People either do it or don't die.
Look
Sorry.
at me. You got more stuff to talk about?
Yeah, go ahead. You're not gonna. Okay, no. Let's talk about Chrissy Teigen for 1 second, right? Because she did something that I thought was really sweet, and you know she's trying to make something, make people feel better about themselves, right? So Chrissy Teigen, I'm trying to load the page right now so that I can show you guys. Chrissy Teigen Instagrammed a picture or a little video of her post-baby body, right?
Okay.
So Chrissy Teigen, supermodel extraordinaire, superstar. She bagged John Legend, has beautiful children. Like Chrissy Teigen is Chrissy Teigen, right? And she's got it going on. So so she started feeling some kind of way, and there's her new baby right there. Let me show you guys what's going on. So she started feeling some kind of way about, that's a beautiful kid. Started feeling some kind of way about how some moms really don't like their post-baby bodies, right? And they work so hard to try to get thin again and then try to get the abs again. But there's just certain things that aren't going to happen after you have a baby. I mean, you can work at it, you can try to get better at it, but for the most part, hey, you know, you had a baby. Like, your body changed. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you just need to learn to accept and love who you are, work to be better, but not to your own detriment, not to like hurting yourself mentally or physically to do it, right? So her idea was, look, I'm Chrissy Teigen. People see me in some kind of light. So I'm going to show you what my post-baby body looks like so that you can see that it's not just you, right? So here's Chrissy Teigen's post-baby body. And like any other beautiful woman who's given birth, you know, every woman, every mom, every situation where someone had a pregnancy. This is after 2 kids, I believe, right? They have 2 children together.
I'm like, where is this woman's booty?
And there she goes. It's flipped around the other side.
Where in the heck did this woman's booty go?
But now here's what she says. She said, oh, where did the picture go, people? She said, this is my new body. Like, period. Like, not that this is what I'm trying to work on, this is what I'm trying to get rid of, this is what I'm trying to do. No, this is my new body. And she will go from here to try to, you know, get into whatever shape and healthy and whatever that she wants to do. But she proclaimed, this is my new body.
Good job, sweetie. Now do some squats so you can get you a new ass.
Wow. You stay exactly how you are.
Use
Ass,
some
no
spots up.
ass, breast,
So when
no
I do
breast,
meet you, I can
whatever you want
slap
to do.
that booty.
You the worst. You the worst.
I'm
we over here. Me and
I'm a
Chrissy over
booty
here
girl.
trying to upgrade.
I'm a booty girl, and all I
upgrade
can
the
tell
world,
you
and you over here
is
talking
she
about
ain't
get
got no
you
booty.
some. Man,
She needs some booty.
You a booty shamer.
I'm a booty
That's the problem. That's the problem. I'm sitting with a booty shamer, y'all. Anyway, big shout to you, Chrissy Teigen.
Oh my goodness.
You keep inspiring and motivating people, and we'll
Yes.
keep highlighting that. I will anyway. She don't, unless you come through with a.
Now look, Chrissy,
Doodle brown.
you do that. We good. We good. We good, Chrissy. No, I like her because she's wild with it. Like, she just says whatever she wants to, and that, my friend, is awesome.
Right.
So, you know.
And it's the mark of truly being secure.
Yourself. Like you
Truly
are
secure.
yourself.
You're
yeah.
happy with yourself.
Yeah.
You're secure.
Look at
in
my
who
man.
You are.
He's got his bottom. Like she done showed her dude's bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like in pictures and stuff. Because she just has fun. Like this is my life. This is me. And I love that about her. So she's good. She's good with me. We good. We cool.
All right. Fine.
He's like, give me your hand.
Yeah. She just wants to go. She's gonna agree to anything I say at this point.
Right.
So you're gonna have a cake made for tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow's our birthday.
birthday.
We celebrate 7 years and we're bringing cake. Hey,
Yay!
we're bringing cake. Mia, yeah. What's your favorite cake?
She likes vanilla
cake. What's your favorite cake? Say cake. I'm gonna give you some money
Edible.
to bring edible. That's funny.
I like cake like I like
Heck
pizza.
yes. I
If
wish
it's
you would have
edible,
told me that. I'm gonna bring
I
a
love
plastic
it.
cake. You're gonna be
Nah,
like, yeah.
that is not edible.
Not funny. Not edible and not funny.
And I will throw your fake cake on the ground. Throw it on the ground.
All right. So we are celebrating tomorrow. We're gonna have a little happy hour meet and greet in the studio from 6 to 9 o'clock. So 6 to 10. So if you want to
6 to
come and
8:30.
hang out, right? 6 to when we get tired.
I gotta
of it.
work on
All
Thursday.
right.
I ain't staying until 9 o'clock. That's my bedtime, y'all. Y'all don't understand the reading that
The
happens
real
before
things.
this show starts.
Oh,
and
my
the,
goodness.
The length of time
It
that
goes
we're
down.
like,
We try to actually like prepare for you. Yeah.
and I am not staying till 10 o'clock. I haven't seen a 10 o'clock since I've been here.
Since you, oh Lord. Well, for sure, bring your butt before 9
Unless
if you
it's
want
a
to see
weekend,
Zay.
then I'm
It's
like,
gonna be
10
fun.
o'clock.
And we're just gonna relax, and it's for my day ones and the people who love us for real. Like I'm not even playing. Like all my peoples that we love.
They could come
Yeah.
in and Nika on the couch.
Right.
Nika, it is 7:45. Wake up, girl. You having a party.
Leave your gift at the table. Everybody else come party with us on Friday inside of Jazzed Up Friday. The
Yes.
great Robert Carter will be performing. Yes,
Carter.
do too. So very excited about that, and we'll be doing some giveaways and giving y'all some fun stuff for our birthday and our 7 years of celebration. So come out, and all we want to do is see your face, pay the cover, and we'll be good to go. I'm really excited about just having fun for the rest of the week.
Yeah,
And we got to go karaoke. That's going to be big because it starts at 9 on Thursday.
It starts at 9. I have a show on Friday. Remember? You asked me to do it.
He's like,
Starts at 9.
I'll be there for 10
I'm gonna
minutes.
be like,
I love it. Dear Lord, thank you for waking us up for today and giving us another opportunity to uplift the candle. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Sorry.
We love you. We love you, Lord. We love
Yes.
you. All the opportunities and the things and the lessons and the blessings that you bring in front of us each and every day. Give us traveling grace this morning. And of course, let's keep joy in our hearts, knowing all things are possible through you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Yes,
All right,
yes.
my friends. We will see you guys tomorrow.
Absolutely. Keep it sexy, San
Birthday
Antonio.
time.
Kissy face, radio world, and we out. Mwah. Okay, Facebook world, we thank you guys. Check. Okay.
Wait.
No, that's fine.
2 for the show and the
Okay.
bass, and
And the bass,
3 to
yeah.
get your
Yeah, I'm
groove
turning that
on.
down because that is just
And 4, let go.
okay. Calm down. All right, Facebook world, we love you guys too. We hope to see you here tomorrow night, but before that, we will see you back here
In the
bright and
mountain.
early tomorrow morning, barring any trying to stay up till 9 o'clock. Forget all that.
Go get you some avocado today.
National Avocado Day.
Thank you,
Hug your
Mia.
mutts. Thank you, Mia, so much. Hug your mutts because it is also National Mutt Day. And what was the third one? What was the third one?
You know, I thought you said that wrong, right?
Hug your mutts?
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah,
hug your.
mutts. Oh, I love you
Right.
so much.
Now I see that you said mutts. Right. And the third one was.
What was the third one? I don't remember the third one. Anyway,
It's
keep it
us
sexy.
day.
Keep it
Raspberry
sexy.
Cake Day. How did you
Raspberry
forget?
cake, because I know you're not gonna let me get any raspberry cake. It just doesn't happen around these parts.
I gonna make you
What
some
is this,
watermelon
kale?
guacamole.
She gonna try and make me a kale cake. Try to sneak it in somehow.
That's gonna be funny.
That
That'll be the
is
only
not-
cake he will
That is
not like.
not funny. Hey,
Wifey will be like, yes.
look at my face. Look at my face. Look at my face. Keep it sexy, everybody. We're going to see you guys tomorrow. Kissy face. Mwah! We out of here.
Michaela Wells, you got on.
Hold on. You talking. I'm still on.
Tennis
Hold on,
shoes.
everybody. I can't log off. So
Really?
well, I'm trying to, Nika, but staying awake until 8:45 does not agree with me. Kissy face, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.